Welcome back to Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. I'm here for the final segment with Dahron Johnson with the Tennessee Equality Project. We're going to wrap up our discussion on this anti-trans athlete bill sitting at the governor's desk. He can veto, sign, or do nothing. Well, what do you suspect will happen? What does it mean if he does nothing?
Well, I would love for him to veto it,
Sure.
at least to be able to send the message. I think that given what majorities we have in our legislature, in the House and Senate, that's not a move he's likely to make because it's a relatively moot point. But it would at least send a signal. That he thought that this was overreach and that he thought that this really created a far greater negative impact than it supposedly wants to solve. So that would be my hope. However, I think it's probably likely that he'll either let it sit, let it go unsigned. We just saw this, for example, with the homelessness criminalization bill, adds felony level charges to folks that are found to be encamping on public lands. He just let that slide because he knew, for whatever political reason, he just didn't want to put his name on it or send a message about it through a veto, and that still becomes law. And so I think one way or the other, we're probably facing that this will become law here in Tennessee.
So how'd you go from, how'd you become an activist, a volunteer with TEP? I've seen you've done a lot of interviews, like I stated. I get that you're close to this issue, but tell me about that process.
Well, I started making a lot of phone calls last year and did them every day. I would take about an hour before work each day or at the end of my day and just call and call and call and call. But part of me just felt like I didn't feel present enough. And I thought that presence was really important. So I just made a small mental decision to myself to start showing up to hearings this year. And in the process of that, started to create a closer relationship with Chris Sanders, the director of Tennessee Equality Project. And he just approached me after one of the committee meetings that I just happened to come in and be present for, if I would be interested in testifying, and that's just accelerated over the last month. These issues have always been important to me, issues of identity, of being able to create environments in which people can move into the fullest version of themselves. I think that's always been close to my heart. However, this has allowed me, going back again to the fullness of self, the full, better me with the energy that all that brings, that being that person then has allowed me to have the energy that I used to be in hiding for all those years.
Right.
I now can devote to these causes that are really so central to me and that in some way involve all of us, because who wouldn't want to be a fuller, better version of themselves? And that, in the end, is really what I'm advocating for.
Right. Well, I know TEP feels fortunate to have you. I saw it on the Facebook. I kind of snooped Facebook page, saw lots of comments. Just give me your personal opinion on why you think in 2022, back 2021, there is so much legislation, anti-trans legislation across the country, right here at home, of course, it's in our face, but we're not the only ones. There's been more anti-trans bills introduced than ever before. Give me your opinion on why.
Yeah. Sadly, I think there are a lot of problematic reasons, even kind of scary reasons, that this legislation has been so pushed throughout the country. I think, broadly speaking, that there are a large group of folks who feel a way of defining and understanding their life in very straightforward, black and white, male and female type of ways, that they feel that is a ground slipping out from underneath their feet, and they don't have a ready way to feel as solid on what's replacing it. And so as a way to protect the ground that they've been standing on, trying to work to put in place this legislation that really instantiates that, makes it concrete in some ways that our world has never been like that. We've never been that binary. But it's our existence proves that daily. We express ourselves, express our gender, express our community connections through any variety of ways. But this legislation is a real grasp to try to hold on to something that some folks feel is slipping out from underneath them.
Right, but are the politicians the one that are trying to make the point, and then everybody just drinks the juice? And I think when you do see progress in various arenas in the world, where trans people are recognized and awarded and applauded, that gets people upset. Where if we all just stayed in our closet, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think with progress comes 10 steps back. And we have a minute left, so answer that.
I appreciate that. I think that that's right. And I think, however, that points to what I was saying, that with progress, what some people feel is progress is the feeling of having to let go or say goodbye to something else that's important. I think that there are some more very Machiavellian political reasons for this. I think there's definitely a dog whistle quality to this legislation, any of the type of anti-LGBTQ legislation that we're seeing that's meant to signal to a certain part of the voter base that, hey, we're paying attention to these issues that we're not really going to talk about in public.
Right. That's all the time we have, Dahron Johnson. Thank you so much. I know you're going to be back on this show for an update. We're out of time tonight, but you can follow us on social breaking news at outandabouttoday.com. Thank you.